the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai. All praises unto Yahweh Shemi Al Shai Wa Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone. On the sheer brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. This is going to be a video of on the United States, the relations that they have with these different countries, and how that fits into prophecy, how that fits into what's said within the Bible. So starting first and foremost with the title, it says the U.S. doesn't seek good relations, it demands total submission. That goes into the very nature of the so-called white man Esau, whose military is spearheaded by America, and the spiritual side, which is their religion, is spearheaded by Rome, and their finance is spearheaded by Britain, of which all three factors, or all three divisions of the power structure of Esau require complete, like they said, complete submission to it. And all the other nations have to submit to that rule and in order to do business with him. That's why when you go into the book of Revelations, the 18th chapter, it talks about how these different merchants have committed fornications, meaning the Lord gave them, although it be their own BS religions, but however they were given a heritage, they had their own customs, and now they follow the customs of the Edomites who rule the world today. Okay, and they do this because of the way the money system works. All of these nations have to submit. You got to where China right now is under all kind of heavy taxes or what's known as sanctions from America, but they have to just eat those sanctions because this is the way the world works. This is who is in control of the economy, and as a result, they will have to either they have to lose out. Okay, so reading this scripture, the book of Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, I'll go to the straight to the point, which is the 4th verse. Behold, his soul which is in him is lifted up and is not upright, but the just shall live by faith. Yea, also because he transgresseth by one, he is proud, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desires as hell. So when they seek to control, they don't seek to control and let people do their own thing. For instance, you have a thing called a vassal state, and that vassal state has its own rules and its own laws, but they still have to, submit somewhat to or give taxes. This man wants to rule absolutely. Okay, that's why you got the thing of the chip that's coming pretty soon. Yea, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. That goes into their borders. All right, that's within the book of Malachi, the first chapter. Let's go to that, Malachi 1. Malachi 1 and 1, the burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. Lord, you saith the Lord. This is talking about the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, the Israelites. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and I laid his mountains and mountains and his heritage ways for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, of which they have built up America. Okay, the US and all of that. Okay, they shall build, but thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, I will throw it down. So furthermore, they shall build, but I'll throw it down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, because as it says here, they were in complete submission. It's not submission unto a righteous rule, because you could look at this video and you think we're being hypocritical because religious, or the law of the land, the law of the Lord requires complete submission, but that's a righteous submission. Okay, you go to the book of Amos, the 9th chapter, and the 9th verse, you find out when the Lord returns, he's going to set up King David, and he's going to have it to where King David's going to rule the world, the righteous world that's going to be set up. Okay, and that's going to be a complete submission. But that's complete submission unto righteousness, and which is going to lead unto life. This submission, these the rulers that are here now, have these people under, it's an unrighteous rulership. It's an unrighteous submission. So you're submitting to what? To evil, and as a result, death follows. Okay, so continuing, it says, they shall build, but I'll throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. And this is this place, and it's befitting that they've got this image here of death because that submission, complete submission, or the expansion of their borders, and hence submission, okay, or expansionism as they call it, is an oppressive regime by way of them going into the borders of other people, and also too what happens onto the people that do submit to it. They're not, when they're calling these civilizing these nations, they're not civilizing them, they're teaching them the ways of death, because idolatry, which is the worship of all the other gods except for the Most High, whom the world calls God and Jesus, okay, all of those worship of those gods leads unto death, but the worship of the true power, Yahweh leads unto life. Okay, adultery, which is to sleep with other men's women. When you watch James Bond, that's all James Bond is doing. Okay, and if you're bugged out in the mind, you actually go out there and you watch the movie and you think, oh yeah, that's good. What he's doing is so romantic. But when you come into the realization, or you come into the understanding of this truth, you find out that adultery is punishable by death. And it makes sense, because when you got an inheritance that passes down from father onto son, and you got a man that's going to slip his rod in there, that brings about confusion as to who's the heir to what. So the Most High, remove that confusion by way of what? By setting up laws that say this woman belongs unto this man, and she is a possession unto him. And I do say possession because when you go into the scriptures, it says, he that getteth a wife getteth a possession, as you would get cattle, as you would get goats. Okay, and a woman is a bit above a goat. But when a woman gets a man, she doesn't get a possession. She gets someone that's going to possess her. Okay, and that's how the Lord set it up from the foundations of the earth. And this is another thing that's not maintained within this society, in this expansionism, okay, Edomite expansionism society. But continuing with this article, it says the UN foreign policy is based on expansionism, oppression. Okay, President Daniel Ortega of Nicaragua, I don't know how to pronounce that particular town, told RT Spanish, adding to those countries that refuse to submit to the Washington's will as demonized and destabilized. So they push the narrative of non-Western, or basically these countries get demonized for not what? For not following the ways of East, or principally America. Okay, so going back onto these scriptures, let's all tie all these ideas together within the scriptures. The book of Habakkuk, the second chapter and the 4th verse, ye transgressors by wine. Okay, so that thing of what? Those countries not willing to submit them, what happens? You have the media, okay, the TV, the different newsreels that you have, different articles that get published, and they basically demonize a particular country for not submitting to the will of America. And people start to believe that, and that's how it goes. When in reality, the demon, or the people that are being destructive is America. Okay, you look at Assad, you look at Gaddafi. All of these people was deemed as these evil people. Okay, but the reality of the situation is America is the one that's evil. They're the one that's expanding their borders way beyond their shores. Okay, and bringing about death wherever they go. A lot of them people out there within Africa, they say that whenever you have the United Nations come with the vaccine, that's when you start seeing, that's when you start seeing people drop dead. Okay, so it says, but then they will spin it. Okay, they'll spin it as though those people are what? Uncivilized, or wild beasts, all of these kind of things. When the reality of the situation is they're the ones that are uncivilized and wild beasts, because they don't uphold the law, statutes, commandments of the Lord. Okay, neither keepeth at home, so they don't keep at home, which is, where is their home? Okay, they've taken over America. That's not their home. Okay, their home is out there within the Caucasus Mountains. That's within the book of Obadiah. But they said that what? That our homes are desolate. So let's go out there and build the desolate places out there, which is America. And that place was a paradise before before people went up in there. Okay, so it says, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto himself all nations, and he heapeth unto himself all people. And the people that don't submit to that rule, they get destroyed. They get put to death. Okay, so pretty much with that, hopefully that was of edification. I'm gonna say all praise unto Yahweh, Krakadash. Double honors unto the apostles, a great millstone. Honor you brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity. Shalom.